My name is Faustino Yam. I live in the village of Cristo Rey in the Corozal district. I am a retired teacher. Currently, I am the curator of the first ever Yucatec Maya Museum. When translated, means Ukuchil Uchben Maya Balog. Okay, so today I am going to share with you a brief history of caste war of Yucatan. The caste war of Yucatan actually occurred in the year 1847 at the neighboring Quintana Roo places like Tepic, Tijosuco, and later at Carrillo Puerto. It was actually a war between the Spanish and the Maya. The Maya felt oppressed by the Spaniards, causing them to rebel against them. This caste war caused many deaths, and as a result, many immigrants of many people from those villages migrated to Belize, particularly in the northern districts of Corozal, Orinjawak, and even further to the Cayo district, and settled in towns like Socots and villages like San Antonio in the Cayo district. So this has been something that has happened in those days, that today we are part of it. In so doing, there was another encounter here in Belize. The Kaiche Mayas were also part of that migration, and they settled in some rural areas in the western part of Belize, particularly by villages like Santa Cruz, Botes in the Mexican side. That occasion that marks our leader Marcos Canul had problems with the English. The English wanted to move on in the areas where the Kaiche Mayas were living. So General Marcos Canul, an Kaiche Maya leader, asked them to not to settle in that particular area, because these were lands occupied by the Kaiche Maya. So the English did not pay attention to his command, so he retaliated against them, becoming one of the leaders to fight for the preserving of their land. So basically that is what I want to share with you, but I will proceed with some questions.
So for the first question we have, what was his contribution to the country?
Okay, first of all, I would say that his great contribution to the country is fighting for the land that we now have for ourselves and for the people in those times. So I think Marcos Canol has been a very important person in our history.
Secondly, do you think he is a forgotten hero and answer why.
Okay, I, in my humble opinion, I think that he has been forgotten for many, many years because not until then people are trying to talk about him, about his history in our country. So I think for quite some time he has been forgotten.
What do you think motivated him to defend his country?
I want to believe that he was fighting for the rights of his people because the settlers, particularly this English, wanted to overtake the land where he and his people lived. The English were um, were annoyed by the fact that he fought for these rights for their land.
Another question is should he be remembered or honored again?
Okay, in my point of view, as you all have heard, he is a very important person in Belize. Um, Although he was not recognized before, I think it's just time for us to remember him and all his good deeds that he did in our country. About 3 years ago, I was part of the group Northern Mire Association of Belize, where we honored him at a monument in Oranjewak town, where we highlighted most of what he had contributed to our country. So I think we should remember him again.
And for the last question is do you think we need more people like him?
Well, in Belize, we have many problems, sometimes with land, sometimes with other things. And I think it is good that people start to stand up for their rights. Sometimes people just take for granted that everything is running smooth in the country. So, as an example, I think we should um, be standing for our rights when problems like this occur in our country. Thank you, and that is all I have to share with you all. Have a good